why don't you just piggyback on what Grandpa Daddy say and say, I agree. If Brock Purdy were on the Raiders, they would probably be Super Bowl favorites.
I mean, right now, who wouldn't say? You know what I'm saying?
Would.
The dude's doing well for himself.
He is.
Laurie Matthews, just the first NorCal Credit Union YouTube chat, the quote of the year. I'm dubbing it. Steiny does presents two sides. They're both pessimistic. I wrote back and responded. Lori Matthews,
you know
that's
what? She knows she's on my bad side.
What happened?
I forget.
How can you get mad at the ladies?
She
oh boy,
she said something on the tweet.
So much so you don't remember, but you're mad at her. You gotta let that stuff go. Shake it off.
I'm not gonna.
You're good with me, Lori.
888-957-9570 is the number. San Francisco 49ers, idle. They were idle on Sunday.
I loved it.
See,
Evan Spadoni and I were in here.
You didn't love it.
We got to focus on all the other teams, and you had a bigger appreciation for what they're doing. Evan, I'm sorry for saying our conversation, but yeah, it's not. It was kind of cool because you didn't have to lock in on everything. It was a smorgasbord of like, oh, that happened. Ooh, Kyle wouldn't have did that. That's how I watch and grade.
Of course, Kyle wouldn't have done. So he wouldn't. He's perfect. I mean, he's perfect right now.
This little bit you got. I wonder when it started.
I thought you said something else there.
Oh, yeah.
So, would the Jags and Vikings have won if Purdy was? Yes. If my Vikings have Purdy, they're 3-0.
Well, they should have won the game.
Exactly.
I'm blaming that on Kirk.
I mean, exactly. I don't like
a lot. But go finish. I'm sorry.
No, I'm not going to finish. No, I'm done.
Well, come on. What were you going to say?
I can't remember. Actually, I do remember. It was, you know how I started the show? My first words when I started the show, I'm like, I'm official. It's official. I can't stand Sundays when the Niners play. And you go, oh, Steiny, you hit the nail right in the head. It's no fun. And here it is, 2:45 later. Now you're saying, oh, I've actually had discussions with coworkers and we loved it.
And if we could check the tape, you wouldn't hear me say you hit the nail on the head on that.
10:02:32.
I had a ball yesterday watching all the games. And it was from a Niner perspective of, dude, Miami is right now, Steiny and Philly, you got a chance tonight. We'll watch you in Tampa.
Today, they giving away the rings today?
Well, everybody's down on Dallas, rightfully so, after that clunker.
Everybody's not done. See, this is where you're different.
But
nobody's giving up on the Cowboys because they lost a game.
But you think that putting that on tape is not when the Jedis over here in Santa Clara get it? They're not going to expose you?
Who knows? It's 2 weeks from now.
Well, they did it without having yesterday on tape, and now they're 2 weeks away from coming up with a game plan for a team that can't score in the red zone. That was Michael Jackson bad. Niners.
It means nothing.
I can't wait for that.
It doesn't mean anything for the game 2 weeks from now.
All right. So that's how you think, and I get you. I ain't mad at you.
What? Like, if the Niners lose to the Cardinals, will you think any differently about the game against Dallas?
Not at all.
See?
I'll say, that was a horrendous loss. But the physicality that the Niners play with, listen to me now, is second to none. Both sides of the ball.
You know,
we've discussed this.
If you believe they have a weakness, you can share it. You don't have to just talk about the greatness of the Niners.
No, right now, there are no weaknesses, Steiny. Secondary, I'm with Larry. Secondary, I'm looking, but it ain't weak enough for anybody to expose them. And then you could follow up and say, well, they haven't played anybody to expose them. We'll see. My dad, Norm, has those 2 tickets. Niners to win the NFC, Niners to win the Super Bowl. Good God.
Norm, you've created a monster.
No, I'm just a realist.
No, you have.
He's created a realist.
He's created somebody I don't even recognize anymore.
Now that hurts. That got to me.
Come on, Norm. Come on. Instill in your son one sliver of confidence.
All right, give me a Niner weakness.
Oh. What?
Give me a Niner
Colt
weakness.
McKivitz. Their tight end doesn't catch.
I made it up.
Stop. You're
Brock
saying
Purdy's
things
still untested.
Okay, that ain't what we're watching. Did he look untested when they scored 30 against New York?
You know what, Goo? This is the
McKivitz a problem Friday when we came in and talked about the show?
This is the difference between you and this is the difference between you and me.
Oh, and there's a
you
lot.
Actually, when I say, let's see how Purdy handles some adversity, you go just like a 49er fan. Hey, well, he came back against the Raiders beat it.
Well, find some adversity.
That's not adversity. He hasn't had any yet.
Right.
That's my point.
Oh, boy.
Being down 10 points to a team that has given up already, which the Raiders had last year, that's not adversity.
Hey, I will give you that point, but let me help you out. You might not find any. You know what I'm saying? He may get to the...
You know what his adversity is?
We're running out of weeks.
No, I'll give him this, and I'm dead serious. Yeah. I'll give him this. The adversity he's overcome has been the injury last year and coming back as strong as he is this year.
Right.
That's the biggest adversity he's overcome. Not the Raiders.
Well, they were down 7 to the Rams.
It's 7. It's football.
All right. And how many games left on this schedule? We talked about it. Are they going to be favored?
One score. It's a one-score game.
Maybe Philly and Baltimore, maybe. They lost to the Colts. I mean, how many games are the Niners going to be underdogs, Steiny? It's real. Maybe one?
Well, then that means they're the best team in football. But you'll give them an out if they don't win it all.
No, I'm doing what you've put in me is the Philly. Philly beat them, so I'm going to respect Philly until it pops off.
48 says kicker is a weakness. Yeah, right.
Dude ain't miss.
Kicker might be the best position. Rookie in the playoffs adversity, the kicker. I don't know. Brock Purdy is untested? Question mark. Inexperienced compared to most, but I wouldn't say that he's untested. Okay. I'm not saying he's untested, but don't tell me a comeback win against the Raiders in Week 15 is at all on a par with the 3 playoff games he played.
And he was down 7. He was down at half to Seattle in that home playoff game. I don't know if you want to say that's adversity, Steiny, but he could have folded.
A one-score game, being down a one score.
7, but yeah, they still were losing.
But it's one score away from being
right. My whole point is, Steiny,
I can't.
It's hard to find the adversity you speak of.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. He hasn't been through an adversity, and don't tell me being down 7 points is adversity.
And if you take
bigger than that,
I hear you, but you're missing my point. If you don't see it then, all I'm telling you and getting you primed for, barring injury, is you may not see it because they're that good.
You may not.
That's all that I'm gearing you up for.
But don't tell me beating the Raiders last year was a test that he completed. It was a shootout against a horse bleep team. Congratulations. The Seahawks game, infinitely more impressive than that because it was a playoff game. There were no stakes either at that point. They weren't going to get the number one.
The first Seattle Seahawks playoff, or not playoff game, but the third game he played in. Short week, Thursday night, on the road.
Broken ribs. Yep.
That's adversity, right?
I'm talking about the playoff game that they were down. I'll give you that. I'll give you a playoff game. The Raiders?
No, but he's talking about adversity. He's playing
I'm talking
injured.
about the first Seattle game. So the second one of the regular season was in Seattle on a short week.
What happened?
He played with a broken rib, and they won.
I don't remember that game.
Yeah, he threw a pick 6, was dropped by Seattle defender.
That's new.
But, oh, boy. Evan, he remembers.
707, you're not listening. Is blowing out your elbow and recovering to start the season consider overcoming adversity? I just said yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's the biggest adversity he's overcome right now. And he's got a lot more to go.
I'll say this, coming in midway through a game against the Dolphins when you didn't drove to the stadium thinking you're not going to play, that qualify as adversity?
No, it doesn't. It qualifies as being Lonnie Walker. That's what it means. It means he stayed ready, like Lonnie Walker. That's what you want your third stringer to do. Sounds like Steiny's leaving it up to his own person. No, I'm just saying this. I'm saying don't tell me that because he came back against the Raiders last year in week 16, that was the test that's pushed him over the top. It's like, no.
Oh, nobody's saying that.
Well, that's the first thing they say.
We talked about how many times has he been down in a game, and that's when the Raider game came up.
Right, and it was a game that had no stakes. Raiders were done. 49ers probably weren't. They knew they weren't getting the home field. was a nice. That's all I'm saying.
But I'll give you the coming back from injury because that's humongous.
888-957-9570 is the number. Nope, not a Purdy hater, 650.
Did anybody call you that?
I'm just not an acolyte. I'm not a fan that thinks that because he's played 9 games, we should already send him to Canton. He's had a hell of a start. They're 3 games into the season. Guru pointed out better than anybody that there was a lot of excitement for Jimmy Garoppolo after 9 games in the regular season. We got all season. We got all season to talk about Brock Purdy and how he's improving, how he's getting better. I'm not putting him in a finished product category yet. Right now, the quarterback he is it good enough for them to win the Super Bowl? Probably, but I got to see him play against some really good teams.
And my point, Sandy, to that is teams win Super Bowls. And if you're into this, through 3 weeks, any power rankings right now, worth their salt, are going to have the Niners at number 1. And my only point with that is it's a Brock thing to you, and we're having the discussion, but he is the quarterback. He has so much at his disposal that they're a collective. And right now, that collective, I believe, is the best team in football right now.
Yep.
Nobody wins a ring right now.
Thank you. And let's not talk about it like situations aren't going to change, whatever they are. Like the 49ers, this is what I mean.
Give it to me.
There's no chance that the 49ers, it's going to be this easy. There's no way it's going to be this easy. I think we all know that. So if we all know that, why can't we all agree that Purdy and this team is going to have some adversity that we can't, that we don't know what it is yet, but they'll have it because every team that goes to the Super Bowl has to overcome something. So let's wait and see what it is and then watch them overcome it. That's all.
Yeah, I got to be careful here, too. I just thought about the Warriors when they had Durant. Steiny, they had no adversity. You know what I mean?
Not right away.
Yeah, and I'm not saying Purdy's Durant. I'm just saying we were doing the pre and the post. Well, they did have
adversity at the end. Him and Draymond Green.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It broke up that.
Yeah, I was doing pre that, but you're right. How many people would bet something's going to pop off, but okay.
I mean, something, I don't know what it's going to be, but they're going to have to, whether it's having to play without a guy here and there, or whether it's a game in which they get down.
That with Ayuk.
Please. Come on.
Well, he wasn't there. That's all I'm saying. They scored 30.